Hello folks, I haven't got that much time today. What's different? I thought what we'll do is we'll look at a brand new set which I bought about 5 years ago. We've still got some brand new sets because company policy was 1st of January we're not buying any more new sets. And so this is like the early version of the current Thunderpole T800. Seems to be what I think. First thing I'm going to say about this before we even start, it's 1st of November today. I was looking at probably about 6 months ago now some discussion on reliability and satisfaction of new radios, and this was American. And as you know, all the new Cobra sets we've had in the last 7 years have been abysmal performance. And it's not just one sample. I get 3 in, and they're all as bad. And a lot of these cheap sets seem to work quite well. Don't know about this. We've never looked at it. And this came out worse of what this American review was. And it seems to be a reliability thing, like it only worked for 3 days and then it packed up and that kind of thing. So, well, of course it needs to find out why that is the case. Or did they blow it up because the SPR was bad? You know, there's always two sides. I was looking at one of the TTI or one of the Intec sets from about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was buying it about 4 or 5 years ago because it's one we hadn't bought from the wholesaler. I was having to buy one off Amazon. And there were reviews. You know, Amazon's got reviews, most of which are fake, but they've got reviews nevertheless. And you always start looking at the bottom at the no stars. And one of the no stars ones, you know, you couldn't make this up. If I was writing a book, if I was writing a novel, I couldn't make this up. It was given 0 stars because it took them 90 minutes to SWR it. What's that got to do with the radio? Hello? Anybody in there? Nothing whatsoever to do with the radio. Why aren't these reviewed by the vendor and say, you stupid prat? That's the answer to that person. It's like, because one of the snags is there's no books either these days. I did do a leaflet when I was at Nottingham Radio called The Art of SWRing, but I haven't got any copies on file, or we could give them away. So, do we get an instruction book? Because normally when I buy these things wholesale, we never get an instruction book. Oh no, we've got an instruction book, have we? No, the box is empty, no instruction book. We never get instruction books. I'll have to now see whether I can find an instruction book for the European version, because most of these sets, the FCC American version and the European version, are a totally different innards. Anyway, it still smells of new radio. So it should be straightforward as it's EU and UK. I'm expecting it to be an FM only set, but you never know, do you? So before we start, we'll open it up. So my experience with bottom entry models, which I would say this comes into, the £49.99 type of CB radio, is to usually work very well. And the £200 radios either don't work as well or no better. And you'd think when you're paying all that money you'd have different filtering. No, just get bells and whistles that you don't want. Right, see if we can take it apart. So the Thunderpole one has no adjustments whatsoever. This is an earlier version, and this has adjustments. Very, very thin wire to the speaker. So I may look back at another model when we find we can't think what does what. It's got a modulation transformer there. It's got a reed relay. So you can adjust the frequency of the reference crystal, which is always useful because it's going to drop with age. It's got a crystal filter in the receiver, and that's a requirement really with the European specification. So we've got some adjustments here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adjustments. So I'll see whether I can find any data on this. We'll get it powered up. To 6-pin mic plug. We want to see what it does straight out of the box. Now I don't like cigarette lighter plugs, but there you are. So we'll put our crocodile clip lead to the cigarette lighter plug and watch them fall off throughout this session. That's a good start. I think there used to be a bigger one on this bench. Right, we'll power it up, 13.8 volts. Just like that. We got some kind of lock on. Oh yeah, it's on. It was on there, wasn't it? So this will be the one with the RF gain that only works in AM. Let's see what it does. Put picture in picture on. So transmit. Hello, and we plug the aerial in. Here we go. Transmit. Doing bang on 3 watts. Now we're going to be optimizing this for UK only, but we will look at what it does in EU. So I'm just going to drop it to the bottom of. Alright, I'm going up. 37, 8, 9, 40. Channel 40, it is doing, I'd say 2.95 watts. And on channel 1 it's probably doing 3.05. I'm right. So out of interest, what does it do on CPT band? So on channel 1 of CPT band it does 3.1 watts. So you can see it's been optimized at the factory more for the CPT band, which doesn't work here and is of no interest anyway. So I'm going to still cover, if we can get into AM, I will cover that on this video. So at the moment it's drawing 1.07 amps. With it being a modern set, they draw more because of the CPUs than the older sets. Deviation, if we can trust the Marconi test set today. Wallow. Why aren't I getting anything? Because I'm on channel 1. Wallow. According to that, it's 3 kilohertz. But I'll check that on the set behind, which I put in the wrong thing because it doesn't have that. I won't be touching on the VCO. Now the signal generator, test set. Just see what it says, frequency wise. 2779122, what more could you ask for? So whilst we've got it, it's not even worth fiddling with, but I will do for the video. Trimmer there. (2779125). So let's look at the receive. So I'm quite right, RF gain does absolutely nothing in FM. So we'll just plug our test instrument speaker in. And then we can get a cyanide reading. It's got some digital artifacts coming through, which is annoying. Right, we'll put the cyanide meter up on the screen. And let's get 12 dB. And the reading for 12 dB is 0.44. Reading for 10 dB is 0.39. And the reading for 20 is spot on 1. Full squelch. Is 3 millivolts, which is massive. I like it to be 100 microvolts, but there's no hard and fast rule on that. And what we're going to do is check the squelch sensitivity. So I've parked the test set at 0.3 of a microvolts. We'll switch it back on, having set the squelch threshold on the radio. Nearly in there, wasn't it? It's 0.95, so that's fine. So it's on frequency. It seems to be louder than it should be, or wider than it should be. Power's a little bit down, but not stupidly. Does it have a meter? Oh, it's one of those where you have to unplug the speaker. It's got 4 bars. So we'll say it's reading for S9 on receive. It should be. I'm going to disconnect this speaker because it's going to be in the way. It stops me tilting the setup and show you. S9 is 3 bars, which is what you'd expect, to be honest. And ramping the thing up is still 3 bars, so you'd think it would read 4, wouldn't you? So that is probably... I'll put 3 bars, because these don't mean anything, do they? So it doesn't have a meter lamp. The switcher's socket doesn't have that, and the speaker works and the mic works. So it's a new set anyway, so it's, I'll just put new set so I know. Now I'll just go and see if I can find an instruction book online. So what my research shows, it's supposed to be the same as the President Harry III ASC. So we'll see whether it really is. That's what I've just downloaded. Well, yeah, it looks right. So we've got crystal and a trimmer, got a reed relay, we've got the modulation transformer, got the IC there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coils. Yeah, variable resistor there, so that looks right. And then I couldn't find a UK instruction book. They found a general EU's instruction book. Suitable for Poland, Romania, Germany, UK, Italy and Russia. That's not printed the page I wanted. It was the procedure to reprogram it, because you can program it for these other countries. It's not shown in the general instruction book. Anyway, I'll tell you what, we'll start with this. So we're going to skip around this because they have you start on AM to set low power to 1 watt. Well, we're not going to be doing that. So that's VR2 we're not going to be bothering with. That's for Germany when they were allowed 1 watt, wasn't it? So let's have a look. So FM channel 20, VR1 for 4 watts. Let's go over to our main meter. Put about 5 pairs of glasses on. And VR1 that's 5. That's 2. That's 4. That's handy because that's also 2 when fitted. 7, 3, 1 is that one. And there we are doing 3 watts ish. Yeah, not everybody's aware that these presets go around in circles. So when you hit the peak, your next thing is the trough. So it goes. They don't have end stops. So at the moment that's 3.4 watts. So deviation is VR3. We're going to just check this with the test set behind me, just in case the Marconi one's lying today. Did 2.5 peak, so that's actually where we want it. So we'll do that. It's 2.2 to a 2.5 kilohertz peak. So it wasn't 1, it wasn't 3. It was exactly what that is. I've made no adjustment to it whatsoever. So we'll work down this list of things to do. So AM mod we can't do at the moment. You've got AM automatic level control and AM mod. So we're not doing either of those at this stage. So anything else? Let's move on to the receiver. Come off the thingy, that was predictable. And again. So it boots up on 19 annoyingly. At least that's not far from 20 where we want it. So let's have a look. What do they want you to do? We'll go over to the oscilloscope. There's no mention. Let's turn the volume down because it's annoying. So's the whine from the CPU. Well, that looks like it's the detector, but there's no mention. So it's either is or it isn't. No, it isn't. So it may be that it uses a technique that doesn't do a detector. Maybe that's on AM. Who knows? Right, so what we'll do is we'll go to the cyanide meter. Now we're obviously going to gain a bit of ground because it's been tuned for 80 channels and we're tuning it for 40. So do these in the right order. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure that is the right order. I think it's 5, 4. Looks like 5, 4, 1, 2, 3 to me. Turn that till we get about 4 dB. It's quite an improvement there. That's spot on. Can't see any change there, so just knock it up to about 10. And then we'll look at this one, which looks like a detector, but it probably isn't. That could be AM detector. So we're going to set it to be in AM just so we can finish off that receive. Right, let's see what it says. While I was trawling through looking for the information, I did spot Knight's website. They sold these at the time, and they clearly say that the RF gain only works in AM. And it does say in the instruction book only works in AM mode. That's what I was looking for. So, turn the radio off, turning the channel 9 switch and turning it on. Right. So we want it in E1 to be able to access 4 watts. Then you turn it off in a normal way, and hopefully AM, FM, AM, FM. So we'll have it in AM. Now we'll have to reset the signal generator. 27, is it 205? Right. That seems to be the best position. Just try this one next to it. Yeah, that's better seen on AM as well. Let's go back to FM. Back to AM. Okay. So while we're in AM, we'll do AM modulation. And ALC. So it's variable resistor 6 for mod. Which is there. Oh dear, here we go again. Wallow. Oh, of course I've got to now reset the modulation meter. 1 2 wallow, 1 2 1 2 wallow, wallow. We'll bring the little tone generator out. And the other one, did we say was 7? No, 5. That's 2. Five is there. Wallow. That brings us to where we want to be. Wow, that's red hot. I don't like that. Put that back. S meter is RV2. You'd expect it to be in the receiver somewhere. That's 3. That's 1. 4. 6 and 5. What's that? 5. 2. So with an S9 signal, plug the I'll go onto the speaker on the wall. I don't need the instrument speaker. With S9 on the signal generator, is that AM or FM? We want FM. I'm only getting 2 now. Why is that? Let's go to AM. And the RF gain does work on AM. Okay, that one fits. So we've got a full set of bars in AM. Let's see what happens when we put it into FM. Now it's too sensitive. And now it never lights up. Not a big difference between the levels. Let's try once again. I want it to just light at that level. Yeah, it's 30, so best compromise I can do, otherwise it doesn't light at all. So what else have we got? Squelch and auto squelch. Low power VR2. But RV2 is S meter. So don't tell it. Ah, there's an right. So that feature's gone. There used to be an RV2 there, and that's gone. So that feature's gone. So we don't have low power on these anymore, which was for Germany. So this is made after that change in 2014. So that's what that confusion's about. So what's this one? Is this our deviation? VR7. Can't remember where we are. That must be. Is that the auto squelch then? And they've just labelled it wrongly. Anyway, RV4 is normal squelch. So normal squelch. Let's do normal squelch. So we'll turn the squelch to full. And I want it to come in on 100 microvolts. Let's go over to the attenuator so you can see where the attenuator is. So we're at 100. Yep. That's absolutely perfect. The threshold now, let's have a look at that. It's actually about 550 microvolts. That's good. So we don't know what that is, and we're going to do auto squelch. So how does that work? Or is it on the mic? Yes, it is. It's only available on the mic. Well, it's coming in at 0.3, which is too weak. So where do they say it is? VR1. So 2, 7, which isn't listed. 6, 5, 2, 1. I can't believe in the middle of the transmitter that's auto squelch. Does absolutely nothing. I think it's this one. Yes, Mr. Tango. It's VR7. So we've now got auto squelch to 3 microvolts. So we've got ASQ, AM mod, AM ALC. VR2 no longer fitted. VR4 squelch. What's that leave us with? Yeah, that's power. We'd already covered that. So we've got, that's frequency, squelch, auto squelch, and these are all receive. They appear to be affecting AM more than anything else. That's 2 and 3. 2 and 3. Right, oh, why was RV2? S meter, yes. So you don't have a transmit meter because that's going to be, I expect that's fake anyway, most new sets it is. Right, well, let's get this back onto UK channels. So set that to channel 9, switch it on, and it's that one, isn't it? Helps if I put it right. There we go. UK in that one, CE in that one. So now we put this channel 20, which should be where we were before. Yep. So now we'll go to UK channel 20, reset the signal generator, rid of auto squelch. It's on channel 1, because it wouldn't possibly remember you were on channel 20. And let's have a look at what the synad meter says for our notes. So remember, we've optimised this channel for 40 UK channels on the receiver. So if it were across the 80 channels, its performance would be more or less where it was out of the factory. So 12 dB is now 0.33, 10 dBs is 0.28, and 20 dBs is still 1 because it's the noise generated by the thing. That's non-adjustable. Right, let's have a look at power. Just to finish off. Now, here we go. Unplug that. So it's 3.4 watts on channel 20. It's 3.3 watts on channel 40. And on channel 1, it's 3.5 watts. Transmit current on channel 20. Is 1.069. It's no difference, is it? 1.069. It was 1.07. I've just retuned it, and it's more or less the same. So I mean, that works fine. It's not like you're going to calibrate your spaceship from the S meter, is it? Right, we'll put the lids on it. And when we do the on-the-air test, I'll do some faffing around. We'll put it in AM mode because it's since we've got that Thunderbolt 3000 in the car, it makes it easy for Mr. Chippy to do. And it is an approved set for AM, even though it's not. It was built probably 6 years ago. I think we swept most of the screws off onto the floor, to be honest. I've just swept the final one onto the floor. As it happens, we've got new screws. One, two, three, four, 5 new screws. Now, if you add, remember my test set is selective, so it doesn't read much interference. So I always say add 0.4 watts to what I'm saying. You add 0.4 watts to 3.6, you've got 4 watts. So, you know, you can't go around saying it doesn't do the power, because it does do the power. And it makes no difference anyway. This one in the back. Right, there we go. Let's tighten it up a little bit more. So my complaints are the CPU noise when it's on, and that's unfortunately the case with a lot of sets, not just £50 ones. We'll have it on its internal speaker if the crocodile clips will let me. Tell you what, we'll plug the aerial in, switch the test gear off. Let's see what it's like on the roof aerial. And we'll do an on-the-air test later. One Anna, Roger. S9 of foreign interference makes it unusable. $19, Roger. There we have it. It works alright. There's a bit of a lift on it. Said I was listening on my 77's local repeater, GB3GR, and they were talking about 28 meg conditions being up, so of course 27 is going to be. Most of these people aren't running 4 watts, and I'm not talking to people who aren't operating legally so they can stuff it. So there you are. That works alright, and we'll see how it goes on the air test. So don't like small speakers. I can't say I like fake output meters, but then all sets have got that these days. And I don't like CPU noise, but most sets do that as well. Thanks for watching.